What if everything you think you know about the world around you is nothing more than an illusion of your own creation? Picture for a moment that reality isn't a solid, unchanging stage, but a living, breathing hologram, constantly shifting and ebbing with every thought you harbor. If that sounds wild, stick around, because by the end of this journey, you'll see how your own mind might be the ultimate architect of everything you experience. Imagine the universe as a vast field of energy, swirling in patterns too subtle for our eyes to catch, yet pulsing with the same frequencies that resonate within us. Every emotion you feel, every thought you entertain sends ripples into this field, bending and reshaping the very fabric of your perception. It's not sci-fi, it's a theory gaining traction in cutting-edge physics labs and, astonishingly, in declassified government research. But before we dive deeper, if you're as fascinated as I am by the idea that your mind could rewrite reality itself, take a second to like this video, drop a comment about what reality you'd redesign first, and hit subscribe so you never miss a revelation like this. In the Cold War shadows, the CIA quietly explored a phenomenon they called the Gateway Process. Far from simple psychic experiments, this project set out to map the contours of consciousness itself and uncover whether the human mind could reach beyond its ordinary limits to influence the world at large. Researchers used deep meditation, hemisphere synchronization through specialized sound frequencies, and guided visualization to open doors into altered states of awareness. What they found suggests that consciousness isn't merely a backstage observer of reality, it's the projector that can sculpt it. Consider the mind of a meditator settled into a state of profound stillness. In that silence, the boundary between observer and observed begins to dissolve. Thoughts slow their chatter, emotions ripple into tranquil calm, and suddenly the meditator perceives the world not as a fixed tableau, but as a canvas waiting for their brushstrokes. This is the state the CIA wanted to access, where mental frequencies align with subtler layers of reality, revealing dimensions hidden from normal sensory perception. And once these frequencies are dialed in, the mind can do more than perceive, it can create. Pause for a moment. If you've ever wondered how to tap into your latent potential and create real change in your life, typing "I'm in" the comments will set the tone for our next deep dive. Don't forget to like if you want more guides on mastering your inner frequencies. The scientists documented that by synchronizing the left and right hemispheres of the brain, using carefully calibrated audio patterns, subjects could enter a coherent mental state where the unified brain acted like a finely tuned radio, capable of scanning frequencies beyond everyday reality. In this harmonized state, perception becomes malleable, almost like clay. You see what you imagine, and imagine what you see. Deep meditation acted as the key to unlock that state, dissolving the habitual patterns that keep us anchored to a narrow view of the world. Visualization, the third pillar of the Gateway Toolkit, transforms the mind into an active participant in the cosmic dance. Participants were guided to create vivid mental images of their intentions, whether healing, insight, or exploration beyond the physical realm. By fixing their attention on these images, their brainwaves shifted to match the vibrational signature of the outcome they sought. In less fanciful terms, they tuned their mental radio to broadcast the frequency they wanted and, in turn, began to pick up signals aligned with that reality. This research, once hidden in classified archives, now reads like a bridge between ancient mysticism and quantum physics. The ancients taught that we live in a world shaped by consciousness. Modern science hints at the same truth, suggesting the universe is an inseparable web of information and energy. If you can influence one node of that network, your own consciousness, you can subtly influence the network as a whole. Let's bring this closer to home. Every day, you walk through a world filtered by your expectations and beliefs. If you anticipate challenges, you see obstacles everywhere. But if you anticipate abundance and possibility, you notice doors opening, opportunities unfolding. That, in essence, is your mind projecting its frequency onto the universal hologram. And while the average person remains oblivious to this power, Those who master their inner state learn to intentionally project realities that serve their highest goals. Before we unveil the practical steps to harness these principles, I want to remind you, if you're finding value here, smash that like button, share this video with someone who needs a new perspective, and subscribe so you'll be first in line for the next revelation on mastering reality. Let's break down exactly how your mind interacts with the quantum field. Quantum physics tells us reality at its smallest scales is a dance of probabilities until observed. Only then does it collapse into a specific outcome. Consciousness itself seems to play a role in that collapse. Our act of observation influences which possibility becomes real. Now scale that up to everyday life, and you begin to see that your focus and intention might guide which experiences crystallize in your world. Picture reality as a hologram, a 3D projection where each fragment contains the whole image. Cut a hologram of a rose in half, and each piece still shows the entire flower. In the same way, every moment contains the totality of potential realities. Your mind is both receptor and projector, tuning into one version while broadcasting that same pattern. When you shift your mental frequency, you sabotage the old projection and broadcast a new one, inviting the universe to mirror that change back to you. So how do we tune our mind to higher frequencies? The Gateway process offers a clear blueprint. Commit to a daily practice of deep meditation to calm the mind's surface chatter. Use hemisphere synchronization tracks, widely available now as binaural beats, to unify your brain's hemispheres. And incorporate purposeful visualization sessions where you vividly imagine the reality you want to inhabit. Even if skepticism whispers that this is too esoteric, science-backed studies have shown measurable changes in brainwave patterns and physiological markers when these practices are followed. Imagine for a moment that you apply these techniques to something concrete, say, improving your health. Close your eyes and feel the vitality of a well-nourished, energetic body. Hear the rhythms of your breath flowing with ease. See your cells regenerating with every heartbeat. By sustaining that clear vision, your brainwaves begin to align with states correlated to healing and resilience. Reports from practitioners of psychoneuroimmunology show that intention and focused imagery can influence immune function and stress hormone levels. In other words, by projecting a healthier frequency, you're not just dreaming. You're engaging your body's own regulatory systems to support that vision. If you've tried visualization before and felt frustrated by lack of results, it might be because your brain hemispheres weren't in sync, or your meditation practice wasn't deep enough to quiet conflicting thoughts. Combining all three techniques, the triad of meditation, synchronization, and visualization, forms a powerful synergy that can realign your entire perception and experience. Let's talk about another domain, creativity. Artists, writers, and inventors often describe flow states, where ideas seem to pour through them effortlessly. In those moments, the boundary between self and universe disappears, and inspiration flows from an unseen well. What if that well is nothing more than the quantum field responding to your harmonized mental frequency? By practicing the Gateway methods, you can learn to enter flow states at will, tapping into that infinite reservoir of ideas and insights. This isn't New Age fluff. Neuroscientists have recorded distinctive brainwave signatures in people who report transcendent, flow-like experiences. These signatures resemble those produced in deeply meditative, harmonized states, exactly the ones cultivated in the Gateway process. By learning to replicate those patterns, you aren't chasing luck. You're recreating the conditions for unbounded creativity. Now, let's address a question that might be buzzing. Is this safe? Some critics warn of losing your grip on ordinary reality, but the Gateway research was conducted under strict protocols, with gradual progression and careful integration. The goal isn't to abandon your daily life, but to enhance it by expanding your awareness. You learn to hold multiple layers of reality in mind at once, the material and the energetic, so you can navigate both with clarity and intention. Here's a simple exercise you can try right now. Close your eyes and take 3 long, slow breaths. As you inhale, imagine drawing in bright, energizing light. As you exhale, imagine releasing any tension or limiting beliefs. After a few rounds, play a two-tone audio track. Binaural beats set to around 10 Hz to begin synchronizing your hemispheres. At that point, bring to mind one specific goal or intention. Visualize it in as much sensory detail as possible: sights, sounds, feelings. Hold that image for several minutes. When you open your eyes, notice any shift in your mood, clarity, or even synchronicities that follow. If this short demo intrigued you, let me know in the comments what you felt. And if you'd like guided sessions and deeper instruction, hit subscribe and ring the bell, because we're just scratching the surface here. As we wrap up, remember that mastering your inner frequencies isn't an overnight hack. It's a skill you cultivate through consistent practice. Over time, you'll notice subtle shifts in how you perceive challenges, how opportunities present themselves, and how you feel about your life overall. The world you see is the reflection of the world you broadcast. Dial up the clarity of your intention and watch how your external reality morphs to match. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of consciousness and the holographic universe. If this video opened new doors for you, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone who's ready to reshape their reality, and subscribe so we can continue this adventure together. Drop a comment with your biggest takeaway or any questions you have. I read every one and love hearing about your experiences. Until next time, keep tuning those frequencies, and remember, you are the co-creator of the world you live in. Take care, and I'll see you soon.